It must be the second episode of the night because my hum is a little rough. Hi, I'm Ryan.
And I'm Steven. This is 60 Cycle Hum, the guitar, buying, selling, trading, modding, fixing, breaking, reviewing, playing
podcast.
In
In old news, Dave Mustaine has left Dean and is now a Gibson
If I was
boy.
Dave Mustaine, which I'm not, you can tell because my hair is very short.
I thought you were this whole time.
I would have changed my name from Dave Mustaine to have a stage name, Dave Mustang.
Dave Mustang, and then you would play Mustang guitars.
Ooh, that's a great idea. I didn't even think about that.
You can dive bomb on a Mustang.
I was just thinking about the vroom vroom.
He doesn't dive bomb though. Doesn't he usually play hardtail guitars? I don't think
so.
I don't think he's a Floydy boy, which makes sense because now he's on Gibson, and they don't typically have Floyds on him. I'm actually looking at the pictures of his signature Gibsons now. 3 flying V's. One's a Kramer that's pointy.
Yeah.
And I think one might be an Epiphone.
I'm not finding the Epiphone, but you did have one that I haven't been able to find.
Yeah, no Epiphones in these pictures.
Crazy green.
But then they have the Gibson acoustic too that's got skulls on the pickguard.
That thing's so weird. I don't understand. Is there like a Megadeth song that's like acoustic? Okay, here's the first problem.
I think there are acoustic like parts in Megadeth songs.
I guess I'm sure there are. I mean, there's always these big ballad,
Right.
songs. What do you think about this? Is this? I know, Dave. We were looking at an article earlier.
Yeah.
And Dave Mustaine signed with Dean in 2007, and he was with them for like 12 years.
What was he playing before then? Like Jackson's or something?
I don't know. Well, I'm just saying, like in terms of his signature or whatever,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
Officially in 2007. So he was Dean guitar ambassador for 12 years. And in 2019, I guess he started selling off his Dean collection, including some prototype models. And people were like, what? And then like 2 months ago, I guess he announced that he was no longer with Dean or whatever. And now it's come out that he has these Gibson models coming out. When he first signed with Dean, of course, he did the whole thing that probably everybody does when they sign, like, oh, this brand really gets me. Dave Mustaine and Dean, they understand who I am and what I want to do.
Yeah, they really understand my personal brand. They're probably paying you a bunch of money. I mean, that's my personal brand too. I get it. I want to see what guitars he was playing in like the 80s.
Probably like Kramer's.
A Jackson here.
Or like Jackson. I don't know. And so in leading up to this, I spent the whole day listening to Megadeth.
The whole day?
The whole day. Well,
Damn,
when
Steve.
I was in a spot to listen to music, I listened to Megadeth, which meant I really only listened to like maybe half an album's worth of songs. And I realized I don't know any, like I don't knowingly know any Megadeth songs.
I know of Megadeth songs, but it's not like if you ask me to like hum the melody of a Megadeth song, I would be totally lost. But I'd be like, oh yeah, there's that one where he's like talking slow and gruff, and then he's playing like shreddy guitar over it, and there's a lot of like dark chugga-chuggas going on. And there's
you just described like
all of them.
you basically just described the Vincent Price interlude in Thriller.
Yeah, it's hard to. Oh yeah, there's one with him in the '90s with a Jackson.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know.
Another Jackson.
I thought for Megadeth, I thought the music is fine, I guess.
Here's with him with a Les Paul looking thing, but it looks like a 1970s picture.
Here's the comparison I would make. Because of course the big comparison is like Megadeth and like Metallica, right?
Right. Well, you know the history there, right?
Yeah. Dave Mustaine was the original lead guitarist for Metallica.
Right.
And I feel like between the two, Megadeth is like the Please compare
please make a comparison that links to Smash Mouth in some way.
Oh, I could. Megadeth is
Metallica is Smash Mouth, and Megadeth is like Sugar Ray.
It's like actually, I'd probably say it's like the other way around.
Oh, okay.
I'd say Megadeth. What I was gonna say is like Megadeth.
No, because Metallica has the earworms.
Right. Oh, that's true.
Switch what I mean. I can't. What's the name of the band?
Smash Mouth?
Smash Mouth has earworms that you can't
Right.
get out of your head.
Right.
That's Metallica, where I guess Sugar Ray is really not the good comparison. Maybe like Lit or something like that.
I would even say like Megadeth is Lit, and Metallica is Blink-182.
Okay, that
like,
works.
And I was actually trying to think of maybe a different, like Megadeth is I just can't think of like a grindy, like it's Megadeth is more of like just a regular punk rock band, and Metallica is pop punk. Like there's like
People listening right now
are nuts,
who are not following what we're saying but love Megadeth or Metallica are going insane right now because of these comparisons. They do not understand what we're trying to communicate.
I'm just saying there's an obvious common thread here, but I felt like Megadeth was a little like at least the album I listened to.
They're two of the biggest, best, well-known
sure
like 80s thrash bands.
Right.
Like they are like the cherries on the top of a scene sundae. So
right.
What can you say?
Right. I'm just saying like Megadeth is like Thrice, and Metallica is like Blink-182.
Compare them to classical composers now.
Megadeth,
and then
is
after that
like
we'll do jazz.
Beethoven, and Metallica is Mozart. And I'm Butch Cassidy. If you mess with Mozart, you're gonna get a bullet in the head, courtesy of Butch Cassidy.
Yeah. And over here is our buddy Socrates.
What I'm trying to say is Megadeth is like Dizzy Gillespie. Metallica is like Count Basie. That doesn't mean anything to me.
Now we're just throwing out names. I listened to some Megadeth today too, and I was fully expecting to be like, this and that, maybe he's probably like a has-been or whatever. And then I thought about it, I was like, no, Dave's fine. Megadeth is fine. This is exactly what I expected to hear when I listened to metal of this era, of this influence. And there's nothing wrong with any of this.
You know what?
I'm totally fine with Gibson signing him as a brand ambassador.
You know what I legitimately, what listening to Megadeth reminded me of is when we listened to Body Count. It's that it's that it's like it's a thrashier. That's what I'm saying is like Megadeth. And it's interesting because the album I listened to was forget what it was called, but it was like their biggest album from 1992.
Yeah.
If I was trying to construct a timeline of metal, I would just assume that album and basically all of Megadeth predated Metallica.
Right.
That Metallica was like an evolution of that genre. That basically, I feel like in my head, and here's probably the issue with that.
Headcanon, here we go.
Is that I really only know Metallica like for the hits.
Right.
So I don't know what their B-sides sound like. I don't know, like maybe, Metallica has, like you said, they have better earworms and everything else just sounds like Megadeth, but with James Hetfield singing it instead of Dave Mustaine.
It was funny on some of the Megadeth that I was listening today. I could hear that little growl in his voice. I was like, are you trying to sound like Metallica right now? But then it's like, I'm not well versed in that scene. That's not music that I've ever spent a ton of time listening to. That might just be the common thread of the genre.
Right.
So
right. I listened to some other. I actually started a playlist with Megadeth, and it started playing like Slayer and Anthrax and Iron Maiden and whatever. And I will say,
Iron Maiden is a jump from Anthrax and Slayer.
Just like, I don't know. It was just a metal channel, I guess.
I know enough about metal to know that Iron Maiden's a jump from those bands.
I think I don't like Dave Mustaine's voice.
No, I don't either. And my criticism, we're not even doing an official album review this episode, but here we are reviewing some songs. My official criticism is just like, I understand now why so many more modern metal bands do like the heavy growl, like demon voice thing, because metal lyrics are stupid. And if that makes you angry, feel free to recommend some metal bands that don't have stupid lyrics, and I'll check them out. But listening to these Megadeth songs, I was like, okay, Dave, I get it. We live in a society. Awesome. I get it. You've got things to say about living in a society. Okay.
Yeah. But I feel like the Gibson Dave Mustaine thing does feel a little out of left field. I think there's
Well, I think it's just because you picture them like pointy versions of Flying V's and metal guitars, Deans and Jacksons, and things like that.
His Kramer signature seems a little pointier.
It is a little pointier for sure. My biggest WTF. I'm looking at the wrong device here. My biggest WTF is like, who the hell was asleep at the wheel over at Dean to let this guy slip away? Because it seems like this is a huge money-making endorsement. Like, you want to have this guy connected to your brand if you're trying to sell to the metal market, which you want to sell to the metal market because those people buy stuff like crazy.
Right.
Like the biggest YouTube channels in Guitar Tube are metal channels. Like, that is a huge audience that buys gear all the time. Like, I think that if you were Dean, you would like blow your whole budget on artists on Dave if you could keep them, you know?
And I have to wonder if this is just kind of the state of Dean right now.
It seems like they're kind of low rent these days.
I'm going through, I just punched in Dean. I'm going down the Google shopping list. They have one guitar. It's a Stealth Floyd FM. So it's one of their pointy guys that may or may not be a Dimebag model.
It seems like they're still coasting on the Dimebag.
That is, well, where I'm going with this is that's a $1,200 guitar, and it's the most expensive guitar that I found on their this sale list. Now I'm getting into reverb listings, and there are some like old Deans, Dean USAs, and so I do kind of wonder, like, is this just happening because when I looked for Dave Mustaine's models, I couldn't find one selling new for more than $400.
Yeah. And
it's kind of a weird thing, but there may be something to the idea that like Dean saying, we'll build you a custom guitar, Dave, that is going to be like a top-notch model, but we're not going to sell one.
Right.
Versus going to Gibson and being like, the guitar that we're going to give you is the same guitar that we're going to sell your fans. There's value there.
Oh, sure. Totally.
There's a lot of value there.
And, it seems like Dean might be kind of asleep at the wheel. Like, I looked through their site earlier and I was like, wow, none of this feels like it's part of this decade. Like, it all feels like very budget, like you were saying. Like, I'm totally for there being brands making signature guitars that are super affordable. I think it's great whenever there's a signature Epiphone, Squire, anything like that. I don't know, like a hot property like Dave, like I can't understand why there isn't a higher end Dean Dave Mustaine.
But that's what I'm saying is it doesn't look like there's a higher end Dean anything. There's there's a $1,200 what is it, XT or Stealth model, and otherwise there's nothing.
Right.
And so maybe I'm missing something. If you are
no, I really think they are, unless someone wants to correct us and be like, no, Dean's got this amazing model and everyone wants it these days. I honestly think they're coasting on the Dimebag stuff.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, like, I can't remember the last time I saw someone playing like a Dean Cadillac or something like that.
I'm going to sort musician's friend, high to low. They do have there are some Dean USAs here, $4,600, $4,300. So maybe there is the potential for, they still do the Michael Schenker at $3,300.
Interesting. This is on Sweetwater?
There's a Dave Mustaine for $3,200. So, hey,
what do we know?
I'm correcting myself right now.
We don't know anything.
There's another Dave Mustaine for $3,000. So who knows?
Man, why did their home website feel so budget?
They're still probably paying out royalty checks to all of those beach girls.
Still, like, I mean, whoever's responsible at Dean for losing Dave is like, that's a huge mark on your record. Like, I feel like that's a big loss. And to have them go from Dean to Gibson, because it feels kind of odd that he's going to Gibson, because you don't typically think, oh, Gibson, the choice of shredders. Like, when I think of Gibson and metal, I think more in the direction of like doom guys.
Sure.
Like heavy, slow riffers. And people are probably, we don't know metal a lot, guys. Disagree with us.
I just disagree with you on that.
Okay.
Because I don't know what their current Gibson USA let's see.
I mean, Kramer,
artist collection.
The Kramer is a no-brainer.
Well, so they've got I guess Slash isn't really metal.
No, I'm not talking about Slash style metal. I mean,
you're probably not talking about Tool, which is like a proggy.
No.
So I'm going down this list. Yeah,
when I think of Dave Mustaine, I think thrash, like ripping thrash. And I know that James Hetfield plays, Explorers, and he used to play Gibsons, but he's not the shreddy deedly guy in
that's true
Metallica. And Kirk Hammett plays ESPs, right?
Here's a Gibson with a Floyd Rose.
But that doesn't mean anything. It's still a Les Paul.
Yeah, but it's got a Floyd Rose, so it should be doing some meadlies.
I don't know. I feel like this is a conversation for metalheads, and neither of us are metalheads.
Yeah, REO Speedwagon, they're metal, right? That's whose that is.
I would wear an REO Speedwagon shirt that was where the logo was done like a pile of sticks.
Sheryl Crow, she's metal, right? What I was looking for is the guitar player from is it the band Hailstorm? I'm thinking of.
I don't know. I've never heard of that band name in my life.
Hailstorm. What's her name? Yeah, Lizzie Hale. I guess she doesn't have a signature Gibson anymore, but she did. Mm-hmm. So that's what I was thinking of, and I was trying to see if they had any other ones. Her signature Gibson was super cool. There's like this.
Oh yeah, I remember that
Alpine White Epiphone Explorer. There was a Gibson version. I think there was an Alpine White Les Paul too.
Sometimes I think I need to play my parts Explorer more, and then I remember how heavy it is, and I'm like, I'm all right.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I guess it's bridging to a genre that maybe they don't have a ton of pull on at the moment.
I mean, people who love Dave Mustaine and buy high-end guitars are going to buy some of these. Like, they're going to get sales off of this.
If you're excited about this, let us know.
Yeah.
We're just not the guys for that, and that's fine.
I think my wrap up on it is, like, this is a no-brainer move for Gibson. It's like, what happened, Dean? Like, that's my question. What happened? What happened to lead to this? And what can you do to prevent this sort of thing from happening in the future? Other brands, use this as an object lesson. Like, figure out why Dean lost, a key signature artist.
Yeah.
And do what you got to do to keep your signature artists. Maybe it wasn't worth it to Dean. Maybe it was a bad deal for them too. I don't know.
Maybe they just can't keep it going. Who knows?
Maybe they legitimately want to move in a budget direction, which is why their website feels budget. Like, maybe like all the high end stuff is just like the unicorns, and like the vast majority of the business they want to do, like, oh, we really just want to do like $500 to $800 guitars.
Right. I think, but I mean, I kind of feel like that's where Dean's been for a really long time.
Right. So. Like, I don't think like we were both surprised. Like, oh wow, there's $3,000 like $3,000 Deans on Sweetwater.
I knew they used to.
Right. For sure. I just
thought they didn't anymore.
Yeah. Clearly, we know nothing. You've been listening to two guys who know nothing about the thing that we're talking about. Welcome to the podcast. That's what we do.
Yeah. So speaking of Gibson custom shop instruments,
one that should actually fetch thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars.
How much do they want for this?
I don't know.
Oh, here we go. $4,500 Gibson custom Gibson Les Paul Fast and Furious, 1 out of 10 out of the custom shop Les Paul, never plugged into an amp. All paperwork still packed in shipping box, no trades. Oh my gosh, cash sale only. I mean, I guess it's on Facebook Marketplace, so you're going to be dealing in cash.
Imagine buying this off of Facebook Marketplace, of all things, of all places to purchase something. You purchase a $4,500, down from $5,500, Fast and Furious themed Les Paul, which apparently I thought that this was themed after the first Fast and Furious, which is actually called The Fast and Furious.
No, The Fast and the Furious.
Steve pointed out that this is from one of the sequels where they shortened the name.
Yeah, so there's The Fast and the Furious, Too Fast, Too Furious, Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift, and then Fast and Furious, which was the 4th movie. Then Fast 5, then whatever they called the 6th one.
I think it's funny that when we like go to NAMM, and even when it's just press releases and, you know, calendars that they put out and stuff like that, like Fender Custom Shop, like their custom shop guys are making guitars that are like encrusted with jewels, or like high concept, like using new materials, or like we like hired this incredible artist to do this piece that you would not believe. And these are all museum piece, like collector's pieces. And then custom shop Gibson with a poorly stretched out photo inlay print of basically a movie poster with a really bad inkjet printer looking logo on the headstock. I kind of
think, I have to say, I think that's on purpose.
The stretched out look?
Yeah, because I think it's supposed to be what they would look like reflecting off of a car. So I think that's what the movie poster looked like. I'm trying to see if I can find it right now.
Like, no matter what, doing a photo print on a guitar like that always looks bad. It doesn't matter the photo. It just looks bad. Like, there are so many better ways to theme a custom guitar. Like, what is actually custom about this other than a photo print on it? It's a Les Paul with a photo print.
Oh no, oh my gosh, it's this poster. I'll send it to you so you can do the thing. Ryan, do the thing. You're Ryan Burke.
I'm Ryan Burke.
My iPad is apparently Melissa.
Yeah, I'll put that in. Yeah, that's so stupid though.
Yeah, so it's a poster that's a picture of a reflection. I guess you would have.
It's the characters in the movie reflected in a car, but they definitely. It's even worse.
Well, it's like
they should have themed, if they're going to do a custom guitar, they should have themed it after this car.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
Big chrome, automotive lines on it, like some sort of grill over the pickups to match the grill on the car. Yeah. Custom knobs that look like automotive parts or something like that. I don't know. Like there's so many creative things that I just vomited in the first like 10 seconds of thinking about it. They didn't even try to do anything like that on this. And maybe I don't understand Gibson Custom Shop. Maybe it's just like, oh, the movie just ordered a photo print guitar and that's still a custom shop thing.
This is missing the switch tip too.
That's why it's down from $5,500 to $4,500. Maybe that switch tip was themed like a stick shift.
Yep, I doubt it.
And that was the thing to tie it all together. Yeah, it just looks so cheap.
They could have done some more interesting things.
If this was an Epiphone, I'd be like, oh, that makes sense. It's like the Sobe guitar.
Like, I don't love this. I'm airdropping you another picture. But at least that was trying the Gibson Corvette series. No, that looks
amazing.
Like, they could have done that. They even could have included, like, the pictures of the people, but at least, like, integrate a little more carness into it.
Right.
Maybe instead of having, like, just a plain old... Like, I guess this was made for General Tires, which is the GT logo in the headstock. So, I don't know. Maybe...
So, it wasn't even made for the movie. It was made for a car company?
Well, it's a tire company. Oh, there's the switch tip.
So stupid.
It's still in the bag. But it's like just a regular Gibson neck, I don't know, do a little bit more. Maybe this is a General Tires promo. Instead of speed knobs, hello, little plastic tires.
That's what I was saying. Or even if they just went full chrome, like do chrome knobs, chrome hardware, chrome pickups, and just do a black guitar with Fast and Furious in pearl as an inlay, on the neck.
Yeah.
Like a pearl inlay of the logo on the neck, or even on the body, even on the headstock, and do the rest of the guitar themed after that car, where it is just slick black with chrome appointments to it on the rest of it. Nothing on it that isn't black or chrome to fit the look of the car in the poster. Then you're making something classy, something that I would be like, okay, I get it, custom shop. This just looks like cheap carnival slop to me. And honestly, I think Gibson should be embarrassed of stuff like this.
Yeah. Well, this is the old Gibson, Ryan.
This is before cool JC with his leather jacket.
So JC,
he kicked in the door. He looked over his glasses like, we're going to change this company.
Mark.
Yeah. Hi, Mark.
Other guy whose name was Caesar. That's what his name, Caesar. Mm-hmm. When you guys want some real authentic ideas, 60cyclehumcast@gmail.com.
You know what? I don't know what we'd charge, but we'll do consulting for Gibson. Hit us up, Gibson. We'll do consulting work for you.
I can tell you normal
middle-aged men will tell you what's cool.
Normal biotech consulting is like $250 an hour, and I am way cheaper than that. Let me tell you.
I'll do it. Half price. Let's do it. Yeah. Together, two of us at the same time, $250 an hour.
Yeah.
Consider
two of us at the same time, $125 an hour. I'm in.
$75 each an hour to consult the Gibson. I think
that was only like $63 an hour.
I think we're selling ourselves too short, Steve. I think we're worth more than that, but
I don't know, man. If I can do that while I'm at work, hello, double dipping.
Oh, so you just want to be immoral about this?
It's not immoral. It's called multitasking.
Yeah, but I'm not making money at my job when I'm doing this. I don't get to double dip.
You could be filming a Fender video while you think about this.
Oh my gosh. I would have fun doing consulting work for guitar companies or, companies within the genre of the guitar.
What you could do is just do it like kind of like a Fiverr style, where they design it all and then they just send us the file and we are like, yes, it's good. And then they just send us a check for $75. No, it sucks. Then they send us a check for $75.
Yeah, we just say stuff and we get $75 over and over again.
Well, I'm saying like that.
I like this plan.
It took an hour for us to look at it and then decide if it's good or not. So we get our 1 hour of work.
Sitting there like, I've got an hour to figure this out. I don't know. It's going to take me an hour to figure this out, guys. I'm a little shaky here.
I love it. This is great.
Oh, this guitar is obviously...
Yeah.
Did you watch any of those movies? Do you care about them at all?
They're fun.
The couple,
they're fun.
Every now and then I've tried to I'm going to try to watch these movies. And at the end of them, I don't want to watch this.
They're just so ridiculous.
I like dumb action movies.
Are these too dumb or not enough action?
I think it's the wrong kind of dumb for me. It's not my brand of dumb.
I like Vin Diesel in the movies I've seen that he's in. He was great in The Iron Giant.
I love The Iron Giant. I love Guardians of the Galaxy. Two notable
I forgot about that.
acting roles for Vin Diesel.
Very big speaking roles.
I actually really like the Pitch Black movies.
He's good in
the Riddick movies.
Those are fun. The Chronicles of Riddick.
Very science fiction. Very science fiction-y. I like those a lot.
I don't know what else he's in.
I don't dislike Vin Diesel. I just can't get into these Fast Furious movies for some reason.
Maybe you just don't like cars enough.
I hate cars is the problem. I hate them.
Yeah, I knew it.
I despise vehicles of any kind except for boats.
I think there's some boats in at least one of them.
Is there a Fast and Furious boat movie?
Probably.
I actually don't care about boats either. That was just me being contrary to my own stupid point. Let's
make some money. This week's episode is brought to you by Big Ear Pedals.
That's right, Steve.
The L. The L for me is an always on reverb. If it's on my board, it is always on.
Yeah.
It's a nice little fun reverb that Grant and Karen make out of their home.
And just
in
like
the greater Nashville area.
Fast and Furious, Big Ear Pedals are like family. You got to keep them together.
Is that a theme in those movies?
I've watched like 1.5 and I know it's about family,
I haven't
Steve.
watched one of them in several years. I just remember having fun.
The L, the Loaf, the Albie, they want to be on adventures together. This one's the older. This one's the older one, I think. He's the leader.
Oh, okay.
Come on, guys, we're gonna go on an adventure. We're gonna do a heist. I'm the new kid here. I don't know if I'm ready. I'll teach you the ways, and we're gonna go do a pedal heist together.
I think Woodcutter is actually the leader,
and then these two are like, oh.
But they're family.
Well, in a manner of speaking, they're not actual blood family.
Oh, okay. That just got real weird.
Oh, they're touching switches.
What in the world is going on?
So big thanks to Big Ear Pedals for, once again, supporting the content that you love here on 60 Cycle.
All right, man, what's new?
The audio listeners are going to be so confused right now. No, they'll get it. They'll understand what was happening. I was making the pedals look like they were kissing and being intimate with each other. You get it, right? They get it. What's new? I don't know what's new. Do you have anything new, Steve?
I sold the Matthews Architect that we had.
You said that last week.
Did I? Oh, I said that last week. You're right. What's new? Nothing.
I bought a Tone Bug reverb on reverb.com.
What's that?
It is a T-Rex reverb that someone sent me a single comment on a video. It's like, hey, you should check out the Tone Bug reverb sometime. I was like, okay, I guess I'm buying this now.
That's all. Hey, Ryan, you should check out Klon $2 sometime. Okay, I guess I'm buying this now.
You know, triple mortgage my house or whatever it takes to get.
Hey, Ryan,
$1 million to buy it from Tyler, apparently.
Yeah, and 50 cheese balls.
I hope that Josh actually sends him 50 cheese balls.
Like just cheesy puffs?
No, the pedal.
50 of them?
50 of them. And I hope he makes that is content I would watch, Tyler. You playing 50 cheese ball fuzzes from JHS.
At once.
At once.
And
making it sound good somehow. I dare you to do it, Tyler. There's no way he listens to this show.
He might.
There's no possible way.
Someone's going to send this
I will say, we talked about Tyler a little bit last episode. I will say, to his credit, there's people that don't like him. And sometimes I don't like him as far as like him as an entertainer. He's not my style. But I frequent the Reddit pedals.
I just pushed a button. I don't know.
I frequent the Reddit pedals circle jerk subforum, and they constantly trash on him over there. And to his credit, which I've said multiple times, he got wind of it. He went over there. He didn't ask me anything, and he was super cool about it. And I think he won over a lot of hearts over there. And I really respect you for doing that, Tyler. And I really, because of that, I think I respect him more than I ever would have. So there's that.
All right. Anything else new? I wanted to have something new.
I thought I had new stuff. I can't remember. I mean, I painted the room, but you guys already knew that. That was weeks ago.
Yeah. They're looking at it right now.
We have new stuff, but we can't talk about it yet. Unscaw my song.
Oh, yeah.
We've only got a couple weeks left for that. Record yourself playing a ska song in a non-ska style. It doesn't have to be a full production. You can just do it acoustic into your phone if you want to. Yeah. Or you could do a full production if you want to. Like get into Logic and do MIDI instruments and go crazy with it. Make something you're super proud of. It just has to be a ska song that you're covering, and you've turned it into not a ska song. And we're going to listen to them all in one episode. We're going to pick winners, and we're going to send out prizes.
I want to hear a Megadeth here in my bedroom.
I'm imagining how that would go, and I like it.
Yeah.
So do that here in my bedroom.
All right, let's hit this next ad. This is a messed up Strat. Who did you find this? Because you didn't credit anybody.
I didn't credit anyone. Dang it. It was in an email, I think. Why didn't I do that?
I don't know.
Damn it. Well, whoever sent this, I'm sorry.
How much is this? Where's the...
Did I not screen grab any of the info?
There it is. Fender American Special Stratocaster Project Rosewood Fretboard 2006 in poor condition, $600, $595 and $59 shipping. There's no description that I can see.
Yeah, I can't find it with a quick search on our email. Damn it, I thought it was emailed.
It's got a couple stickers in it. There's a Ferrari sticker. Prestige medical. Oh, it's a medical marijuana sticker.
So basically, this is a Fender American Special Stratocaster 2006. They want $600 for it, which would normally be a hot price for an American Strat. But this thing has been molested in a lot of really odd ways.
Yeah. So,
and it's it's not in playable condition at all.
I looked at this first picture,
but at least it's shielded.
And I'm looking at this shielding, and I go to the second picture, and I go, "Oh, that's an American Strat."
Mm-hmm.
And then I go to the next picture, and I'm like, "Why does this cavity look extra carved out?" That's weird. And then I go to the next picture. What is this random
There
hole?
are random holes and places with really unnatural damage.
At some point, it looks like somebody decided that they didn't want the strap button on the end of the horn.
They wanted it on the face of the horn.
Yeah.
But then the screw broke off and then they sanded it down or something.
There's so many random holes, and then you get to the back.
On the back, someone routed out a hole behind the jack plate. So it's like there's a jack plate hole on the back of the guitar.
It's like, did they want to put a jack on the back? Were they backjacking?
I don't know what that term means.
I don't know what it means
I
either.
don't want to know. And I highly suggest that you delete your browser history.
And then $600. Oh, this is being sold in Florida.
Oh, this is Florida Man's guitar.
That everything now makes sense. This person is on meth. Here's the thing, like a Fender American Special, I don't know what these sell for now.
Also the bridge is a hardtail bridge.
Oh, it's a hardtail
that is bolted over the route for a standard Strat trim bridge.
Yeah. Also,
the shielding looks like it's kitchen foil.
That's not kitchen foil. That's the foil that's used to cook your meth.
And also, they might have cooked meth in that foil. Also, I mean, I don't think I've ever seen an American Strat with a swimming pool route, let alone a route that goes down into the lower horn. Like this, a lot of wood was removed from this.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like this is all hacked up. So here's the thing. I can't say what these sell for now.
Right.
This store has sold over 1,000 items.
Well, it's clearly just a store. They're very competent at taking photos. The photos are very nice and arty. They're really showing off every detail. I don't believe that the store is responsible for any of this. I think they came into owning this, but I also think they're trying to get way too much money for it. At this point in this guitar's journey, just take the neck off and sell the neck as an American neck. The neck looks fine. The body, it doesn't matter that this is an American Strat body because it's been harmed past that mattering.
This guitar is an absolute mess. Currently has no tuner or electronics. Has a hardtail bridge, though it originally had a floating trim, routed, holes in it, has a nail in it, refinished, tore up, so much more. It was covered in stickers. It was covered in big stickers that covered all the holes originally. Jack plate installed in the back under where it would typically be in the front. Turns out they routed straight through. Surprisingly, it actually played awesome, just how it was when it came in. I tore the stickers off. Sold. Here's what I want to know. I actually just pulled this up so I could go to the store. So I want to see what the hell else is in this store. One of the items in here is also there's 158 listings. The prices in here are just wackadoodle.
Oh, really?
Fender Highway 1 for $1,300.
Whoa.
An old Fender Contemporary Telecaster, which this is kind of cool. It's one of these MIJ Telecasters with a Fender System 1. I think that's a System 1.
Is that price really ridiculous? Like
I think that price is
$1,600 for that?
Price is too much. I could, if it was like $1,000.
Yeah, it seems like they're batting a couple extra $100 on almost everything.
There's a Squire Vintage Modified, looks like a Bass 6 for $900.
What is this shop doing?
I don't know. What's funny is like some of the other things in here might
You can buy those new for like $400, right?
Well, do they still sell them?
Yeah.
There's some other things in here that are like more normally priced, like a Fender Standard HSS for $500, so that's like a Mexican. But then a 93 PV Predator for $350. I don't think those are.
Sometimes I wonder if when you see stuff like that that's priced way above what it should be, if the shop that's selling them has some sort of specialty market where they have an arrangement where they ship overseas. And that's like a price meant for overseas.
I have no idea. Like some of these prices make sense, and some of these prices are just like they're not like the markups are different.
Okay, so that neck, an American Special Strat neck, 2006. They should be able to just part this out and sell that neck on eBay for $300 plus, right?
Yeah, they've got other Fender necks on here. For $300 to $400. If they were just selling this neck for like $300, it'd be like, okay,
right,
that's fine.
But no one wants to pay an extra $300, $200 to get this body. There's not enough of the body left.
All right, I figured it out
to be worth $200. And there's no no pickups or anything in this. It's just the body that's got an unwrapped baked potato in it.
This guitar is just trying to get on riffs, beers, and beards and gear,
right?
The reverb
ridiculous
show.
Reverb listings.
Yeah,
the most famous, like used gear video podcast that there's ever been. It's been
not really a podcast.
It's been like running forever. It's the best known YouTube video podcast review of used gear that there is, and that's just what they're trying to do. They're just trying to bait that well-known show.
They're selling a Dodd Gunslinger for $99. That seems a little overpriced.
You sounded a little British there, Steve.
This is just, I don't understand this at all.
No, what would you pay for that body if you saw it on local Craigslist? It's like, here's a body in this condition, no neck, and it was originally a Fender American Special Strat. I feel like I wouldn't go over $75. And that's even generous.
I think if this was like $200, it would make sense.
The whole guitar?
For the whole thing. Because of the neck.
But the neck looks fine. I think you're just paying for the neck.
Yeah.
I feel like,
exactly.
No, like if these necks go for $300 regularly, I would pay $300 for this guitar, and I would just look at the body like, well, that's just scrap.
Yeah.
Because that's what it is. The neck looks fine. It doesn't have tuners, though. I bet you could find this neck with tuners for $300 to $400.
Possibly. I mean, and the neck is beat up. Like it's got some gashes in it.
It's normal beat up.
No, that's not normal beat up. Look at that. That's not normal beat up.
No, that's normal wear.
That's not normal wear.
All right. No, it's nothing like the body.
It's nothing like the body, but that's not normal wear. I'm going to look at all of your Stratocasters right now.
I think I've only got one Strat in here, so have fun looking at my one Strat right now. My Strat is pretty beat up.
None of the headstocks on any of your guitars look like that.
Okay, all right.
That's beat up.
But it's nowhere near as bad as the body.
I'm not saying the rest of this body is trash.
Right.
Like if you knew what you were doing, which I don't, but if you knew what you were doing, you could probably take some I don't know, 400, maybe some 400 grit sandpaper.
I don't think the damage on the neck is that bad. Like it looked like it got roughed around a little bit, but it's not like it doesn't have holes drilled in it.
No,
and stuff.
I'm just saying it doesn't.
Well, it does have holes drilled in it, but it's the right holes to be drilled in a neck.
I'm just saying there's some finish dents where
it's not cherry.
And I'm saying those dents don't make sense.
No,
that's what my point is.
No, this thing looks like it got kicked around the back of a tour van with a punk band for like a summer or something.
No,
like
this guitar was owned by a meth head.
For sure. Ah, that's a little sad. But anyways, next topic.
Prestige Medical, man. Prestige Medical. This show, do you know who else sponsors the show, Ryan?
Oh, it's Chase Plus Audio.
Chase Plus Audio sponsors this show. That's right.
Where's my other thing? I don't know where I put the...
Which other thing?
The other Chase Plus pedal.
There's a blooper right there. There's a Condor that they don't sell anymore.
The blooper is a lot of fun.
There's a Brothers that they don't sell anymore. There's a Dark World
that they still sell. The blooper is a bunch of fun. Let's talk about the blooper for a second. It's a looper, but it's not just a looper. It's like an effect-making granular, like surprise yourself machine. You could be boring and just treat it like a normal looper, which is fine. I honestly think if you're going to buy just a normal looper, just buy a single foot space thing and just use a looper. But if you want to get experimental and you want to get crazy, this is the looper for you. You record your loop and then you select two of multiple different mods that you can apply to it, and you can apply 2 at a time with these little buttons down here, and things get absolutely crazy. Like this pedal makes sounds that I've never heard from any other looper in my life. Like you want to put something in a pedal and have it come out completely different, like the pedal is inventing new music for you to play over. That's the blooper. This almost achieved artificial intelligence. I think that the blooper is its own musician. Like it should get writing credits in songs when used in songs. So for pedals more creative than you are,
that will write your songs for you.
Check out Chase Plus Audio. Big supporters of the show for a long time. If you want to support brands that support the content that you love, check out Chase Plus Audio and Bigger Pedals.
All right, this next topic came from Facebook.
From Alex Van Halen Osborne.
Who asks...
he says, if you fellows made your own line of affordable guitar/bass pedals, what would your brand do to stand out from the crowd? I like this question because it's not like, what would your pedal be? It's like, what would you do with your brand to make it special?
I would make it extreme. These pedals would constantly be getting yeeted off of things.
Everything would be themed after Mountain Dew and Doritos.
They would be very pog? Is that what the kids are saying these days?
Is that
pog?
a thing they're saying?
Be so pog.
What does that mean? Other than, are they talking about pogs?
I think it means good.
Pog means good. All right.
Also, they would come with pogs. Gonna make that happen again.
I could see that being like a thing at NAMM if NAMM ever happens. Like some pedal company be like, hey, everyone, go over to this booth. They're giving out pogs.
Apparently, Summer NAMM is booked, man. They've got a conference, whatever. Is it in a conference center? Is it in a hotel?
They usually do it in the convention center downtown.
Apparently, it's booked.
I have actually lined up my place I'm going to stay. I'm still like telling everyone I'm staying with, like, I think there's a 20% chance this is actually going to happen. We can cancel the Airbnb up until like a few weeks before NAMM. So we'll see.
By the time this episode airs, I will have had my second shot. So
damn,
I'll just go to Summer NAMM.
Mr. Immunities over here, just showing off. Big brag about his immunities.
I do think for us, for our brand, the big thing, and we talked about this. I think we just talked about this with the series of K-line pedals that you just did, like they have really the thing that sets them apart from other cheap brands right now is they have really
they have fun art,
cool art on them.
Yeah, I think art is a big thing. I mean, Walrus gets a lot of love and hate from people. People notice Walrus because of their art. They do a lot of cool like custom art runs and stuff.
Funny, like how many people I have known who will or will not, or who either like want or will never own a Julia because of the art.
There was a post on Reddit where someone had every single special art version of the Earthquaker plumes, which is a very simple.
Isn't it just different colorways?
It's just different colorways, but they had like 10 of these things.
Jeez.
And a lot of people were roasting it, but a couple of people were like, you know what? They're $100 pedals. There's dumber things to collect.
Yeah.
I mean, they look cool in a row. I don't know, guys.
Just turn them all on at once.
I think if I was going to have like a pedal brand and I wanted to set it apart and make it special, I think the best way to do that, I mean, art is cool, but the best way to do it is a unique case design and unique like hardware. Like I really admire Beatronics.
Oh yeah.
They make fully unique cases for each pedal. They do like the full like embossed metal like pieces that are screwed onto it.
Yeah.
They use really unique hardware. They actually use hardware from like aviation sources.
Yeah.
For their big bolts and stuff like that. And they have a extremely unique look and feel when you hold them in your hand, you look them on a pedal board that I think gives a lot of value to the brand. Like their circuits are fantastic too, but it just the aesthetic, the physical nature of them gives them a very unique, desirable sort of
thing. You know, I've always wanted to see a pedal where the switch is kind of on the front of the pedal, right? So imagine something simpler and it's on like a slant. And then it like here, this part would be like flat and the knobs are actually kind of recessed as well.
Yeah.
And then on the edge, there'd be like some wings that kind of make it so the knobs are kind of down in their own little holy hole space. Like something like that. That would be really cool. I don't think that's an idea anyone's had. I can't do that with a straight face.
No, for a minute I thought you were describing a Boss pedal, but then you said the wings. I was like, oh, you're describing.
I'm describing a Thorpe. Thorpe.
No, but that's a perfect example. Like you make a unique case design, and you know what? That case design is reminiscent of previous case designs, but he made it his thing. And now when you see it, it's like, oh, that's a Thorpe pedal.
Yeah, I think. Well, that was kind of the comment that I had with these Flamma pedals that you just got in. Is I actually though I will say that their overall aesthetic, what it actually reminds me of is Rev.
Oh, totally.
But it's really clean, and the cases, I don't actually. I think the case is probably just a generic looking case, but there's something about specifically, I think the little groove under preamp here,
right?
That and the way that does this light up?
It does. It's a unique LED around here that goes out in a little like a triad spike. They did a metal engrave on the top here, and they did a cutout for a bar of LEDs right here.
For your, so you know what preset you're on.
It's not just a presets, it's this different modes.
Oh, okay.
So they really went the distance to make a unique case design that grabs your eye for a budget pedal. And I think even if it's a budget pedal, I think a unique case design goes a really long way. Like think about Dan Electro.
Yeah.
They have so many unique case designs for their pedals. Only recently have they put out something that's in a box.
And even like their new ones that are they're just in a box, like they're
unique,
they're
knobs.
relic boxes.
They're like this aged theme. Like they still put a lot of like visual design into it. Like I think there's plenty of room in the world for the boutique pedal that's in a gray metal box with standard knobs and like a rubber stamped design on it.
Right.
But at a certain point, like going the extra mile and doing really unique case design, I think is so special.
What would you do for? I just saw what if Ibanez had just? This is a preamp, and one of the preamps is called HVE 5151.
Oh, they hint really hard at what they're trying to do without actually crossing the line.
What's the Blue Eye 100?
Man, I forget.
No, it doesn't matter.
This thing got a failing grade from me, by the way. I had it set aside for the last episode. We were talking about paid demos and whatnot. That's a whole other story. Go watch the video of my Flammas pedals.
But thinking about that, what about names? How would you name your pedals?
Are hard. I remember years and years ago when I was listening to Brian Wampler's podcast more often, Chasing Tone. He would go on these things like, try to name a pedal. Someone already came up with that name 15 times. You cannot find a unique name for a pedal, which makes me think like, honestly, almost like the Boss way of doing things is probably the way to go these days.
Just some kind of numbering.
Yeah.
I think the numbering system works. I really don't. I don't think I like the way that like a lot of the other cheap brands do. Like this one, the preamp, again, whatever. Right. It's the FS06 preamp. Like that does a little bit of something for me. Just these ones where it's like, I'm going to buy the K-Line distortion and it just says distortion on, or like Donner distortion.
K-Line goes out of their way to come up with names that mean nothing.
Which may, is that better or worse? I don't know.
Right. And, like all the Walrus stuff, like the names mean nothing in context to, what the effect actually does. But then in a way it becomes iconic. That one
K-Line back there is the Stack Attack. It's a preamp and compressor. That kind of makes sense.
It's like an overdrive compressor.
Yeah, so it's like a Stack Attack.
Now, some of them make sense, but some of them are like,
I just see so many of them.
What's a devilfish?
Right. And I guess like the classic Donner is the Yellow Fall, which is kind of a cool name. Mm-hmm. But it's a delay, and that doesn't really make any sense except unless it's like Yellow Fallout, and it's eventually gonna delay your death.
Yeah,
but your death is now inevitable from the radiation.
I was privy a while back to a conversation a builder was having, trying to figure out a name for an upcoming pedal, and it's actually really tricky if you are doing sort of like a clone-ish sort of like a tribute to a famous pedal, because you can't use certain terms without crossing legal issues. But like saying like hitting obvious puns, obvious things that you want to do with it becomes very tricky. So it can actually be really hard to name pedals in certain situations.
So I'm trying to think. So you've got the Blues Driver, and the Blues Driver is based, correct me if I'm wrong, on the Marshall Blues Breaker pedal. Is that right?
I think so. I'm not a pedal historian with that sort of stuff.
So I saw that you were getting educated on pedals in a video.
Yes.
So I'm trying to think of like, that's like a pretty common pedal, or a pretty common genre of pedal to or type of overdrive to
imagine
make a circuit of. I'm trying to think like, what would you
imagine trying to name
that?
Imagine trying to name a Tube Screamer clone. There's been a billion of them.
Yeah.
You can't do Green Screamer. You can't do you can't do Green Tube Drive. You have to come up with some sort of crazy name that still tells people this is a Tube Screamer. The Cylinder Yeller.
And maybe that's where you just like, where I guess you just go with the
the creative name.
You just I'm sure there's another pedal out there, or you would just get sued by whoever wrote the song Love Potion Number 9. That's a really obvious, fun Tube Screamer homage, because it's the 9.
Right. TS9.
The TS9 reference.
Right. You could name like an 808 clone, the Bob.
Oh,
because it kind of looks like an 808.
That'd be cool. And you do that Bob in like
a font that just looks kind of close to 808.
I just know it. Yeah, you do it in like that old like 80s the 80s like the War Games font.
Right.
Where it's like very blocky. That could work.
Yeah.
That could work.
This is the Bob.
Yeah. we've named one pedal. We have like these are cheap. This is a budget brand, so we've probably got 19 more pedals.
You know what else could really set your brand apart?
What?
Like get a Nan booth and just fill it with like mostly naked ladies. Yeah. Now you're sticking out and you're really marketing your stuff. Yeah, Dean style. That's why Dean is top of the game right now.
Gotta keep that sticking out marketing, that stuck out marketing for your OnlyFans, right?
It's, there's brands that do a really good job of making stuff unique and like where you see it and you're like, oh, that's that brand. I know that brand just from the look of this thing. Like if you see anything from Boss, you're like, oh, there's a Boss pedal.
Yeah.
If you see something
but the shapes help, the shapes help that too.
If you see something from Ibanez, you're like, oh, that might be a Maxon.
Yeah. If you see anything from Vertex, you're like, oh, is that a new X?
And that's like why anytime, oh my gosh, shut up. Anytime you see something like importy trying to do the Strymon look, it's like an eye roll thing. Like, all right, okay, you're trying to look like Strymon and like you're not quite there. And I guess it's all right, but it's pretty rough.
Oh man, I'm trying to think if there's anything else. And that's the thing is you want to make that nod without being like so derivative.
Right. I mean, honestly, Boss has the best pedal
was
design.
Was that like
of all.
your take on like, because since you just mentioned it, like the new X, like the Atlantic?
Yeah, well, the Atlantic, like that was, I think, one of the first pedals that came out where people were like, oh, this is trying to be a Flint.
Yeah.
It's
even though it's not, right?
No,
like, it's a different thing.
The case is very different, but just the dimensions, the squareness of it.
Oh yeah,
and the side by side and the knob layout, like definitely.
I meant like I think the effects are actually different. But,
they are.
But it's definitely a similar. I had that problem. There's a company. I don't know if they're still around. Called, I think they're called Hampstead, and they're a British company that put out a pedal that was like full on, even in cursive font.
Wow.
Same size, similar box, similar soft. All of this is I guess you could say like all of this is bent metal. These are die cast, but probably. But it's like that rounded metal shape, but they were like that extra soft shape that like Strymon, because Strymon pedals have a very soft shape.
Right. I think the iconic thing about Strymon pedals, there's one right there, is the thing where you can butt them all up against each other and it's like seamless. And yeah, that bent metal sort of thing.
Yeah, and I think a lot of the ones that do like the knockoff have this roundedness all around.
Right.
And for what it's worth, like I kind of get that vibe from the new Fender line. Like I get Strymon vibes from that.
Yeah. They are definitely taking design cues from Strymon over Fender.
But yeah,
but they do it this way.
Right. Do they?
Yeah. I don't have
there's one right there.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, they do it that way. And I mean, it's not exactly the same. It's that tough space where everything that's kind of like a super clean look.
Fender pedals are just sideways Strymon.
Especially if it has, two switches on the top.
Right.
I feel like it's just you want to compare it to Strymon.
If it's a square, it's got two switches.
Now that I see them side by side, I'm like, these really they're similar, but they're not that similar.
But like if this had come out before any other Strymon looking things, you'd be like, wow, that is very Strymon. Because it's if this was somewhat of a unique case design when these came out.
If this would have come out before any other Strymons, I would not compare this.
No, I'm saying like if before other Strymon copies.
Right.
If this was the first pedal you saw that was doing this thing after Strymon, you'd be like, wow, they're trying to do a Strymon thing. Yeah.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I
would make all my pedals.
We knocked it out.
I'd give them all a flavor. Like you lick them and you taste something.
Oh, like the old scratch and sniff.
Yeah, but it's taste and sniff.
It's taste and
it's lick and taste.
Yeah, I feel like here in 2021, maybe you don't want to lick your pedals.
Well, not if you bought them used. By the time you buy them used, all the flavor's gone anyways.
That's gross.
ABC pedals already been ABL pedals already been licked.
Already been licked. Already been consumed.
All right, you want to do housekeeping, and then we'll do the last ad and get out of here.
Housekeeping is part of the show where we thank the people. Well, there's no new people. We record 2 episodes at a time. You guys know that. But if you want to support the show,
we had like 6 people last week.
Head on over. I should have broken it up. Head on over to patreon.com/60cyclehumcast, where for as little as $1 a month, or if you want a little discount, you can subscribe. You can donate a year at a time. You basically pay for 11 months and get the 12th month for free.
And it also means that you don't have like a recurring charge. Like you just have the single charge.
Just there. Just sign up. It helps us do things. We talked about booking for Summer NAMM. That's that covers that. It goes in. We made it. Yeah, it's $23 in paint, but it's paint.
Yeah,
it's paint back
no,
there.
these
IKEA shelves. A lot of people have been talking about these white cabinets. I don't think you can.
You can't see them in this shot. Yeah.
But there's some brand new, pretty new now, not brand new anymore. White cabinets back here.
Yeah, they're pretty new. They're still pretty new.
Maybe someday Ryan will buy me a proper mic stand.
That's a proper mic stand. Steve wants one of these bendy boys. You're the one that bought this bendy boy. You have another bendy boy at home, don't you?
I do have another one.
Just bring your other bendy boy over here.
Then I won't have a bendy boy at home anymore, right?
Steve wants that bendy boy at home where the bendy boy belongs. Okay, if you want a bendy boy, I'll get you a bendy boy, Steve. We'll pay for it with Patreon.
We could get the little tabletop ones. There's no room for those.
No, we like to use our tabletop for pedals and roadcasters and iPads and stuff and drinks that we're going to spill someday on all our pedals and iPads.
Anyway, just head on over Patreon.
Yeah,
there's a link.
Yeah, it's the money that makes most of these productions happen. Like, we use that money to make the show happen. That's the reality of it. So huge thanks to everyone who supports us. Let's attack this other ad here sent by Pete Carpenter. It is for an Axe-22 guitar that I'm having so much trouble understanding. I tried to search for this brand online, and all that came up was an older version of this exact guitar that you'll see later in the photo, Steve, that had stickers and stuff all over it. It is this exact guitar. But in the version that was sent to us, all the stickers were removed and there was some heavy sanding going on.
Wait, how do you know for sure that it's this exact guitar?
Look at the headstock. This one's got stickers on it. Mm-hmm. That's the old ad. The new ad
has the stickers. Has
the sun stains of those stickers. This is the exact same guitar.
This says Axe guitar, 22 frets.
And also look at that nut. That nut is a mistake on this guitar, and it's the same nut.
This is in Bristol. What's up with this string? They're not even trying.
The whole thing is like, was this actually commercially produced, or is this someone's home done disaster? It looks like it has a Univox pickup in the bridge with those square pole pieces on one of the coils.
Yeah.
It's got some sort of crazy Teisco style non-adjustable bridge.
But look at this neck is kind of cool looking.
The neck is, I really like the cool stripe inlays. Kind of a little confusing when you're trying to figure out what fret you're on the higher frets.
Right.
I actually really like that crazy curved in top horn that's way too big. Like, there's something funky about this that I like certain elements of it. And other things I look at it and like, this is a disaster. The 5 tuners on one side of the headstock and 1 tuner nestled down. It's got a Fender style headstock, but it's got 1 tuner on the lower like wing of the headstock up by the bulb, which you can tell does the benefit of a Fender style headstock is that the strings line up straight across the nut.
Yeah.
The design of this completely throws that to the wind. The strings start to have an angle to them on the G string, and that high E is broken, but you can tell it would have a really hot angle going from the tuner to the nut.
Yeah, this is.
Did you see
fascinating.
the heel on that neck? Look at this heel.
No, it's huge.
It goes like 3 or 4 inches past
Yeah,
the
it doesn't
bolt.
make any sense.
That truss rod adjustment, you can tell there was never a cover on it.
Yeah.
The nut
It also looks like maybe it's too deep to use like a tool.
the nut is the wrong size for the neck. Like it's way too compact. Like where did that nut even come from? Like I look at this like how is it possible that this was a commercial guitar at any point? But I look at the logo on the headstock and I'm like, no one's going to do that on their hobby guitar.
Yeah.
It says Axe 22 PM White
Yeah, I don't know what
Air.
that word is.
Whithair PM WHIT
I read that as TTARE.
ARE. I have no idea. This is a European ad. Maybe this is like a crazy like Eastern European brand that we've never heard of before. But there's visual elements here where if this was like put together right, I'd be like, that's a fun, funky guitar. I'm not going to say it, Steve. I'm not going to say paint it gold metal flake, but I am going to say paint it like crazy lime green metal flake. Do this guitar upright, put a lipstick in the neck, like a Filtertron in the bridge, a Bigsby on this.
Mm-hmm.
Leave the shape of the pickguard, leave the shape of the top horn, leave that crazy tuner layout on the headstock, and it's going to be a funky, crazy garage rock machine.
Why is this guitar?
So what I'm saying is just completely change everything about this guitar, and then I'll be interested in it.
It's even like kind of hard to search for this because all the internet wants to show you are Axe guitars.
Right.
Like, was it
Axe-shaped guitars and
like Paul
Axe
Stanley
FX
or whatever.
guitars. And
Yeah, that is the only listing.
this thing was cooler when it had stickers all over it.
I thought I could out Google foo you. Usually I can out Google foo you and be like, no, I found it.
This thing, look at it with stickers and the knobs. Look at that giant freaking knob for the pickup selector.
No, that's a cool knob. I like that knob's on this one too. How much are they asking for this?
170 pounds. Down from 475 pounds.
Jeez.
It's in Bristol,
Yeah, what?
which is in England.
Yeah, that's why it's so heavy.
Yeah. Everything's a little heavy in England, we've noticed. 170 pounds. I don't know.
This is just
I wouldn't pay that
weird.
if this was local. If this was $50 local, I'd be like, I gotta go check it out. I gotta go see what this thing's all about. I mean, what if it plays great? It looks like it's been roughed up enough that someone was playing it at some point.
Yeah, someone was trying to punk rock with it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. This thing wants to be a punk rock guitar. This thing wants to play Cramps songs.
I think that might be Withered. That might
Maybe.
be a D at the end because that's some kind of UK thing. Withered of Chelsea.
Huh.
But that's a coffee and tea supply. So
No idea. Just the mishmash of hardware and crazy concepts on this make me think that this is like a 1970s, early 80s guitar from somewhere funky. All right, tell us about the song. Let's get out of here.
this week's song was sent by Manuel Avila. Let me pull it up. He says, hey, Ryan and Steve, here's an instrumental song called Moon Dust for you. I don't know if I can compete with the national anthem of my own country, Mexico, but I'll give it a try. Does gear matter? Here's a list. Nothing fancy, just my new Klon serial number 002. The bass is a PV Millennium BXP. The guitar is a heavily modified Pacifica from Yamaha. into a Quilter Reverb 101 and playing into a Fender Deluxe cab. The bass is going straight into the Focusrite Solo. Drums are tracks by Prime Loops. The effects for bass are an SP compressor and then an SP compressor played with a violin bow. So there's actually two basses, two bass parts, and then a guitar part that's an EHX Ocean 11. Another guitar that's a JHS Series, a 3 Series fuzz into a flashback, and another one that's a 3 Series fuzz into a flashback played with a Soundstone sustainer. Have you seen those Soundstone?
I don't believe that I have.
Sustainers. I've been seeing ads for them on Instagram. They're kind of a Ebo-y thing, but they're called a Soundstone. I think they're just kind of a different shape. This is from Manuel. Oh, Manuel Avila Ochoa. I've seen him. I'm pretty sure he's in the Facebook group. This is the time of the night where your internet's slow.
I'm getting a bunch of ads for landscaping speakers that look like rocks. A Soundstone.
I really like that.
Yeah, that was a groove.
Yeah.
Really neat mood to that. I like all the instrumentation going throughout. I could have time warped just now. That could have played for like 6 hours and I would have just sat here and absorbed it.
Yeah. Yeah. Send us the 6-hour version.
All right. Bye everyone.
See ya.
Stay grounded.